Hey, Clint Hayes with Zeamer, Today is National Medal of Honor Day here in the United States, and to celebrate that occasion, I'm happy to announce that the paperback version of my book, Zeamer, Beavers, the incredible true story, true, emphasis on this word, true story, is now available on Amazon, which complements the Kindle version that's already up there. I'm very happy to be able to bring this out and have both versions available now. There are a couple of extra goodies in the paperback version that didn't make it into the Kindle version last fall. I came across a couple of things that I went ahead and added to the paperback version. So there's a little bit of extra something in there for everybody who are interested in the story of the Eager Beavers. As I try to point out whenever I can, the received story of this crew is not the actual story of the crew. There are many myths and mistakes that have been passed down over the decades because of most sources being, most videos, most articles you'll find online today, and even in print to a large degree, are based on mostly a single source. Back in the 1960s, it was the first chapter of the 1968 book Flying Forts by Martin Caden, and that first chapter tells a whopper of a story, much of which simply isn't true. But what I found in digging into the real story of this crew back in the 90s when I first came across it was that the actual story of this crew, their actual history and how they came about, is, to me, far more compelling, and because of that, inspirational, because it's the real men, than the sort of dirty dozen, well, not sort of, it's very much a dirty dozen misfits and screw-offs myth that has come down over the years. The reality is that Zeamer and Sarnosky, as Bombardier, after they teamed up, wanted to weed out all of the misfits and screw-offs because those weren't the kind of men they wanted on their crew. And that's partly why they were able to do everything that they were able to do with that crew, the Eager Beavers. So anyway, yeah, very happy to be able to have that, have the paperback available now. Look, Ma, I have a back cover. Very happy with that. Also, because it's Medal of Honor Day, I'd be remiss not to mention that another project this is published, all my books are going to be published under Hayes Inc. That's my publishing company. I am also a partner with my father in his company, Dull Hayes Press, and also this weekend here for Medal of Honor Day, we have brought out Joe Bowman's, my friend Joe's, absolutely tremendous volume 1 of his going to be a 3-part series, Bravest of the Brave. And Joe has spent the last 30 years also. We both started working on these projects at about the same time in the early 90s. And we crossed paths back in the early 2000s, 2007, I guess, somewhere in there. He was searching for more information on Zeamer and Sarnosky, and, what do you know? I knew a little bit. He actually had a lot of stuff on them that I didn't know because of his own research. And so we started working together, and we each made our stories about the Eager Beavers better. And in the meantime, he kept working on this. This series is for everyone who's interested in military aviation, in the U.S. Air Force, in stories of great courage and heroism and sacrifice. These are the Medal of Honor recipients, all of them, all 62, for the U.S. Air Force. This is volume 1. This covers the first 24 bios up to 1943. The second volume, which we're hoping to bring out next year, is going to finish out World War II. It's going to be 44 and 45, and then volume 3 is going to cover from the Korean War up to the present. So, if you are interested in just an amazing compilation of comprehensive biographies of all, well, like I said, eventually all 62. In this first volume, it's 17 chapters covering the first 24 biographies from World War I up through the first half of World War II. In this book, you're going to find Rickenbacker and Luke and the Ploesti raid, Doolittle, Zeamer and Sarnosky, his chapter on them in here, Kenneth Walker, and so many of the unknown recipients who've never gotten any press whatsoever, or maybe a random book or two. You don't have to go buy the single books. I can vouch for this book myself and others who have read it. What they're amazed by is how well that they feel like, everyone's saying they feel like they've read a whole book on each recipient just by reading Joe's chapter. It's a tremendous accomplishment, and it is a great compliment to my book, to my book about the Eager Beavers. His chapter actually has a little bit on the Eager Beavers that mine doesn't, which is a reason to seek his out, only because he got some information from Jay Zeamer, in which Zeamer related his stories, his actual accounts, his personal accounts of some of his missions, that Joe very kindly offered me those to use for my book, and I told him, no, just keep them, because I want them to be unique to his chapter. It was his research. So you'll find those personal accounts from Zeamer in his book and not mine. But I do have that information in mine. I just cover it more generally in mine. But the details, the actual Zeamer's words are presented in Joe's book, while I just cover the mission itself. And I also have some things in it that Joe didn't have. If you want to know the absolute most about the crew, you'll find that here, because Joe doesn't get into nearly the kind of detail that I do. And I go ahead and do a full biography, comprehensive biography of both Zeamer and Sarnosky and Into the Plane in my book. So anyway, National Medal of Honor today, 2 great ways to celebrate National Medal of Honor today. You can go to Amazon and find both of these. I would also urge you to look up the Del Hayes Press YouTube channel that is brand spanking new as of today. And there's going to be some companion videos there in the future to Joe's Bravest of the Brave series. And hopefully some other cool stuff about self-publishing and writing and about our other books over there. So anyway, thanks very much. I hope you check out the books. Have a great National Medal of Honor Day. Thanks.